Good morning and thanks for joining us on Mega News at 6 on MBN TV, live and direct from our studios, 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate, Nungwa Adogono. The news is also live on our socials on MBN 360 and I'm Wendy Lati. Now the headlines.
Government to introduce bill on workplace safety and health. In the world of business, Gold Board denies 1 billion Ghana cedis BOG overdraft claim, demands retraction. And on the international front, Guinea rubbish landfill collapse kills 30.
These and many more other news bulletins coming up shortly. News in details. The Ministry of Employment, Labour and Jobs expects to establish a comprehensive legal framework for occupational safety, health and working conditions in Ghana.
The proposed legislation is expected to set out safety regulations and requirements aimed at protecting workers and promoting healthy and safe working environments across the country. The Minister for Employment, Labour and Jobs, Dr. Abdul Rashid Pelpo, announced this at an engagement with members of the Health, Environment, Safety and Security ahead of their leadership conference scheduled for August 29th and 30th. Dr. Pelpo said the proposed law would provide a clear legal framework for addressing workplace safety and health concerns and ensure that Ghanaian workers were adequately protected. Your occupation is also our occupation, and naturally we can work together. I'm happy that in doing so, we are also working together to develop this bill, which is going to be our legal framework defining all the safety regulations and needs to ensure good health and the working conditions of our Ghanaian workforce, he said. He stressed that safe and healthy working conditions were not only a responsibility of government, but were also essential to building a secure and sustainable economy. We do acknowledge that to ensure a secure, sustainable economy, the worker has to be free of the daily complaints of "I'm sick" because of the environment they work in, he said. Dr. Pelpo said economic growth and sustainability depended largely on providing workers with conditions that enable them to work effectively and safely. This is very important. We are aware that if an economy can grow and be viable and sustainable, it must have good working conditions for the worker who pushes and makes sure there is development, he added. He said the government, since assuming office, had prioritized maintaining a positive and safe working environment to enable workers to contribute effectively to national development. All that we have attained within the 1.5 years of our administration is to make sure we maintain good working conditions, a very good environment so workers can have the kind of positive psychology to work and they have a very safe environment to work, he said. The minister commended HESS for its efforts to promote workplace safety and security, describing the organization's work as a patriotic contribution to the country. He said the government would continue to partner with the organization to improve workplace safety standards and secure positive outcomes from the upcoming conference. Dr. Pelpo expressed hope that the August 29th to 30th conference will generate practical recommendations to strengthen workplace safety, health, and security. He said providing workers with the necessary conditions of security, peace, and safety was essential of recognizing and supporting the contribution of Ghana's workforce to national development.
Your occupation is also our occupation, and naturally we can work together. And I'm happy that in doing so, we are also working together to develop this bill, which is going to now be our legal frame defining all the safety regulations and need to ensure good health the working conditions of our Ghanaian workforce. Yeah. We do acknowledge that to ensure a secure, sustainable economy, the worker has to be free of the daily complaints of I'm sick and that because of the environment they work in. So even though essentially we are looking at it as part of our responsibility, it is much more than that being a need in any growing economy. It's very, very important. We are aware that if an economy can grow and be viable, sustainable, it must have a good working condition for the worker who pushes and makes sure there is a healthy environment. I mean, there is development. All that we have attained within the 1.5 years of administration is to make sure we maintain a good working condition, a very good environment, so workers can have the kind of positive psychology to work, and they have very safe environment to work, and they can be sure that in doing so, they can go back to their families in good health conditions and be safe where they are. So HES has shown that an organization like it can be patriotic enough to devote all its time in doing so. And this is why we believe that in partnering them, we are doing the right thing. So we wish them well, and we hope that all of us will be there on these specific days of 29th to 30th to have this conference to make sure the conference returns positive outcomes for us. So in the end, we can all smile and thank the Ghanaian worker, for devoting his best and for us all to provide the needed conditions of security, peace, and a safe environment.
We are members of the Health, Environment, Safety and Security Leadership.
And now into our second story. A security guard at Mim Senior High School in the Ahafo region has allegedly been caught by male students after reportedly attempting to pressure a female student into a sexual relationship.
The guard, identified as Ubuntu, is alleged to have confronted the student after discovering that she had left the school campus without permission. According to reports, the guard allegedly threatened to report the student to school authorities unless she complied with his demands. He is alleged to have told the student that she had to either have an affair with him or he would report her to the school authorities for punishment. The student reportedly sent a text message to some of her male colleagues about the alleged encounter before accompanying the guard to his quarters. The male student subsequently went to the guard's residence where they reportedly confronted him in the presence of the student. Details surrounding the incident remain unclear, including whether the matter has been formally reported to the school authorities or the police. The allegations have not been independently verified, and it is unclear whether the security guard has responded to the claims.
In other stories, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, has revealed that it has received 3 petitions in connection with allegations of extortion and related conduct made by the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Gold Board, Sami Gyamfi, against the Minority Leader of Parliament, Alexander Afenyo-Markin.
According to the OSP, it had received a joint petition submitted by 2 persons as well as 2 separate petitions from other individuals, all relating to the allegations. In a statement issued on Monday, August 24th, the Anti-Corruption Agency said it had taken note of the Republic allegations and would assess the case to determine whether it falls within its statutory mandate. The OSP said it would also determine whether further investigative action is warranted after assessing the case. The development follows claims by Mr. Gyamfi, who accused Mr. Afenyo-Markin of extortion. The minority leader has since denied the allegation and indicated that he intends to take legal action against the Gold Board CEO. The controversy comes amid a public dispute between the two over claims of 22 billion Ghana cedis in losses, equivalent to about 1.7 billion US dollars, allegedly associated with the domestic gold purchase program in 2025. Meanwhile, the United Party has petitioned the Attorney General and other anti-corruption and security agencies to investigate allegations of extortion against Minority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin. The petition was filed by the party's Communications Director Solomon Owusu and Legal Director Andrew Appiah-Dankwa.
And now in business, the Ghana Gold Board has denied a claim that it owes the Bank of Ghana 1 billion Ghana cedis in an unpaid overdraft, describing the allegation as solely false and malicious.
The denial follows a claim attributed to the Member of Parliament for Tano North, Dr. Gideon Boako, that Gold Board had an outstanding 1 billion Ghana cedis overdraft with the Central Bank. However, Gold Board, in a statement on Monday, August 24, 2026, said it had never borrowed from the Bank of Ghana or any financial institution. For the records, the Gold Board has never at any time since its establishment taken a loan, overdraft or any debt instrument from the Bank of Ghana or any financial institution whatsoever, the statement said. The board described the claim as part of what it called a deliberate and malicious smear campaign against the institution. The claim attributed to Dr. Gideon Boako is contrived and should be treated with utmost contempt, it said. The Gold Board called on the Tano North MP to withdraw the allegations and apologize for what it described as the publication of false information. We entreat the MP to unequivocally retract and apologize for putting out this falsehood, the statement said.
On the international front, at least 30 people have been killed after a mound of rubbish at a major waste site collapsed onto nearby homes in Guinea's capital, Conakry, the government has said.
Another 22 people were injured, including 6 seriously in the city's Dar es Salaam area. Significant resources and personnel, including the military, have been deployed to search for survivors after the collapse at about 0200 local time following heavy rain overnight, the government added in a statement. One woman told local media her 5 children had died in the disaster. There are fears that the death toll will rise further. Rescuers were later seen using excavators to comb through a mountain of scattered rubbish at the site as residents gathered nearby. Guinea's Prime Minister Mamadou Oriba visited the scene to assess the situation and oversee the search efforts. Neighborhood leader Lassine Silla had earlier told the AFP news agency he feared there would be a heavy death toll.
At 2 a.m., we were sleeping when we heard a loud noise. The first ones out, there were 4 or 5 people from the family who went out to see what had happened outside. Suddenly, we saw the first break. This time, the second wave came. That is what knocked us over, pushed the house, and it fell.
There are around 30 dead. The bodies have been taken to Donker Hospital and we now have 22 injured. What we must be thankful for is that Civil Protection found many people under the rubble, bringing out 22 people who are truly injured. For the other bodies, the search continues.
That's all for today on the morning bulletins. But before we leave, let's take a recap of the top stories.
Government to introduce bill on workplace safety and health. In the world of business, Gold Board denies 1 billion Ghana cedis BOG overdraft claim, demands retraction. And on the international front, Guinea rubbish landfill collapse kills 30.
I'm Wendy Lati. For more news, log on to MBN 360 Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for staying. Up next is the sports update.